Okay, should be good. Should be going. Good to go.
I haven't gotten an email yet that it's live. Oh, it's loading, I think. Yep. Okay. I think you are live.
Okie dokie.
Awesome.
All right, so
Okay.
it'll
Yep.
stop on its own when I just let go of this after the fact?
Yes, and I'll be still working, so I'll keep an eye on it either way just to make sure it ends. But yeah, you should be good to go.
Cool.
Thanks,
Sounds
Mike.
good.
Let me know if you guys need anything.
All right, Lauren, have a good rest of your day. Yo. Checking my teeth because it looked like I had something in it on here, but I don't.
Were you talking to me? Because I missed all that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're live already though. So,
Oh,
yep.
did you?
So you ready to rock?
Yeah. Did you share the link?
Lauren already was on. She just hopped off literally like 2 seconds before you hopped on. She got it all. So we're on the This Is Our Year page.
Oh yeah.
Do you want?
I was wondering if she posted on Insta. Anyway.
No, but I can tell her to real quick. Or I have it actually. Hold on. I have it right here. It's in the chat actually. Go in the chat.
Chat here.
And it's the third one that's like YouTube Live too. Let's see. We put that on a separate page here.
The problem is I'm going to be sending it from my phone, so.
Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Ay. Everything has just been annoying today.
This whole year, it's been crazy.
Crazy in a good way for you?
Yeah, mostly. Is Ori okay? By the way, I haven't talked to you since this weekend.
She is better. She's still got a cough. So the problem is, oh yeah, here we go. Hold on. Yeah, it's live right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna send this to the chat. Okay. See that? That's what you want to share, Dougie.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work for me, but okay.
You see in the chat right there, the YouTube watch, blah blah. Yeah. All right, she just posted it too.
Nice.
On email to you. Yeah, you have the live link in your email from her as well, if that helps.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, we can get this party started.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, boom.
Boom.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I am your host, Michael Kurland. I also am sick. That's why I sound like a frog or Bernadette Peters.
I was going to say, you sound pretty fired down.
Yeah, what was that? What was that one? Sandra something or other? Anyway, that manly voiced actress from the 90s. Burkhart, Sandra Burkhart. Yeah. That's why I sound like her right now.
Have a few more cigs, Mike.
Yeah, I sound like Selma from The Simpsons. Hey, Marge. Dougie Fresh joining me as always. Dougie, how are you doing today?
We're hanging in, man. It's a Thursday. It's maybe not quitting time, but we're gonna do the show anyway. So cheers, buddy. I've showed you guys.
Yeah, what are we drinking?
Zero Gravity before, nothing new, but kind of my go-to when I'm just in a store and I don't know what to get. They make very good beer, and of course it's a double IPA. But fucking sue me. Sorry.
Hey man, two things. First and foremost, I don't know if your mic is kind of far or your volume's kind of low, but you're
Yeah, this thing turns itself down, man. It's
yeah. You're good. You're good now.
good
So
now,
that's yep, that's perfect. Just don't want to have to go back and have everyone tell us how they can't hear you again. You know, all
Shout
28
out
of
to
our
Mare
followers.
for saying that too.
Yeah.
Someone's
Exactly.
watching. Watch out.
Yeah, watch out now.
Watch out, Mike.
And so the other thing is, I kind of feel bad every time we record because you just sit there and pound double IPAs, and like our audience only sees you from the chest, your bust, if you will, and so
should I be
they don't
showing
know
more pecs, more?
No, but they don't. Those are biceps, but they don't know that you're like
and biased. Come on. Anyway,
they don't know that you're like a lanky guy. Besides looking like the guy from Grand Theft Auto 1.
I like where this is going. Actually, I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I am a very lanky guy. Always been. My dad actually just asked me today. Make sure you don't put on all the weight I did. He did, and I said, dude, I'm already 44. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
And I am not. I'm not TB12 over here. I'm eating pizza and garbage, and I don't drink as much as I used to. This is mostly for show these days, but yeah, I'm lucky in that regard. I got other issues though. So.
Oh yeah, we all do. We don't need to get into those. But what I'm trying to say is, you put back 2 to 3. I don't think you put back 2 double IPAs before you hop off here. Maybe crack a third, and that's just like happy hour before you cruise into your night with your fiance. And I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm sure that some of those nights end a little gray for.
Oh, sometimes, and Jenny likes to partake lately too. She has a very stressful job, but I wish I had crazy stories for you, man. But again, we're in our 40s. I think you know what's up.
I know.
I have a couple of these, and then I just kind of sink into the couch. It's been a long day, but it's nice to do this with you, man. So cheers. Are you drinking anything or?
I'm drinking fucking lemon ginger tea because I had my first. So my baby is about to turn 4 months on Monday, which is super exciting, but also kind of scary that it's already been 4 months. I can't believe how time flies.
Yeah.
And she got sick for the first time last Wednesday, so a week ago. And she has now passed that sickness on to me and my wife. And we are just doing everything we can to get better. And
First of May.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Alex's sister lived with us for a couple months a few years ago, and she has twin boys, and they're almost 3, almost 3.5 now. They were 1 when they lived with us, and they came home from daycare, and I've never been sicker in my recent memory than when I got sick from whatever the boys had at daycare. I mean,
yeah,
it was the catalyst that made me decide I'm not sending my child to daycare because it's just a fucking petri dish.
Bird flu. Yeah, that's what I hear. I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's the mixing of the kids. I tell you.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good.
No.
Anyway, long and lanky. Although by the way, I am like 200 pounds, so I think that does help with the alcohol. Somehow I do like way like in the 200s, which kind of blows my mind too. But anyway,
you're also like 6'3", 6'2",
yeah,
6'1". How tall are you? 6'2"?
6'1" probably is correct.
Okay, you're way taller than me.
Too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I thought you were going with Engvall here because he apparently is built like me, except I'm not ripped like he is.
No, so
big tall guy,
6'5",
kind of soft though. I hear.
Well,
this is from Leafs fans, so it's relative. But
Leafs fans hate everybody because they haven't won a fucking championship in 70 years. So, I will say, Engvall. Have you seen him up close and personal? I
saw some pictures, but
he is Brock Nelson's doppelganger. He looks dead like Brock Nelson, but with a French Canadian accent.
Do you think he looks like Brock? Like
yes.
Lincoln kind of, bro?
Dude, go look at the last interview and then like look at Brock, and they're not dead ringers, but definitely looks like a younger French Canadian version of Brock.
You know why I say that is because the pictures I saw, he looked like actually like a European F1 driver, like kind of like model, like
Yes.
and he's from Sweden, so those guys come correct, and that's a beautiful country, right? But yeah, I got to check that out again with looking like Brock, because Brock always reminds me of like Stoner Abe Lincoln.
Yes, Brock actually really reminds me of. I don't know why. Maybe just because of the way we grew up, but you remember Eric Bernheim. He reminds me of his brother Ken back in the day.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like Ken to me. So, and
shout out to the Bernheims.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bernheim bunch. So, but yeah, let's lead off with some fucking hockey. Trade deadlines tomorrow. We normally be recording tomorrow, but we got some busy Friday stuff going on in the real work world. So sorry to viewers that are watching right now.
Yeah,
you're just tuning in early.
You can mute the hockey. It's fine.
Missing the trade deadline special. So,
that too.
We got Engvall. What do you think about that trade?
Fine. They need bodies. 3rd round pick. Don't care.
2024 3rd round pick. Don't care.
Yep. Dude's like what, 26?
26 years old.
Free agent after the year. But if he looks good, I'm sure Lou will give him some years. So
12 goals, 9 assists on the Leafs. Playing mostly on the 3rd line, I believe. I think that's
Josh
where he's
Bailey
going to.
Numbers.
Yeah. Oh, better than Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey has 7 goals.
He slides right in. But yeah,
not making $5 million.
I think Bailey's on his way out, either in a trade like you mentioned last night, or just a buyout. It makes sense to buy him out next year. It's only like a 1 point something on the cap.
Yeah, it's time for him to go.
Washed. Although he had a nice goal the other night, but.
Finally, I mean, he was able to functionally kick the puck to his stick and then put it in. It was very nice. I don't know.
It was. But, dude, half the team is right here. Half the team is Bridgeport right now.
Right.
They needed to make that Engvall trade. Look, it's still only like, what, 30% chance they even make the playoffs. They're going to need some luck, but, Lou's going for it, as you said.
Well, I mean, I get, Barzal goes down. We got 4 games in hand. And we're I don't know how many points up, but we were in the 7th seed, right? We were in the top of the wild card seed. So
I don't look at it that way, because
I mean, I think, but that's how, if he had,
I guess that's how you have to, but
yeah, if you had dealt from that position, you were giving up on the season, I think the whole team would have just been like, what the fuck,
Oh yeah. But they're still like 10th or 9th in points percentage. That's they still need to do some work, is what I'm saying.
Yes, but they did. I mean, they did do work on this recent trip. They got 7 out of a possible 8 points
with a shit lineup. So
with a shit lineup, So the fact that they were able to get, only leave 1 point on the table is pretty amazing. And now it just comes down to, what are we doing between now and 3 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time?
You'd think it's a D-man. They need some help on the blue line. You need to get Aho off regular shifts. I think he's just a disaster. I kind of like the guy's skill, but just watch him, or count how many times he falls down, or make it a drinking game.
Right.
Maybe I'll do that on Saturday afternoon.
We should do that. We should do that. Aho, how many times Aho falls without any reason. I like it. I think, yeah. Every time his butt hits the ice, you got to drink. We would both be way drunker than after this show. So I agree. I think we do need I think it boggles my mind why we didn't give a 2026 3rd round pick to Arizona for Gastabar Bear, however you say his name. Yeah, instead of Carolina, that would have been the perfect guy to come in. 3rd, right? I mean, we have every 3rd except for next year, so.
Oh no! They have this year's for the lad trade. I read.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We could have given them a 2026, and.
But speaking of Arizona, and we love talking about Arizona, Coyotes.
We do. I don't know
why. What Jacob Chychrun ended up going for is just got to be disappointing if they have any fans, and that kind of sucks. I mean, maybe it was not going to happen, but you think Lou could match another 1st and a couple other picks, right? That's all it was in the end.
It was a 1st, 2nd, and a 3rd.
Perfect. He'd be fucking perfect.
Yeah. So my question to you is, okay, we definitely need a puck moving defenseman. I don't know who at this point, because whatever.
Erik Karlsson.
I don't think it's happening. I mean, he makes $11 million plus for the next 3 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So obviously we'd have to give up Bailey and then that, but we're still upside down almost.
Take out
$7 million. I don't think they want to do that though. They're trying to rebuild. But
Right.
I'm going to pivot here.
Yeah.
And Chicago has a guy named Max Domi that is an unrestricted free agent, 28 years old. And I've heard rumblings that we may be in on him. What are your thoughts on that?
He's a forward. His dad, we used to call him Ty Dummy. I'm sure you remember him.
No, I definitely remember him.
Huge fucking idiot who would punch people.
Followed by Sean Avery, also a huge fucking idiot. Just a long lineage of Ranger goons.
Douchebags. Well, no, I think of Domi actually as a Leaf with Darcy Tucker and Gary Roberts and all those scumbags. God, that was a fun year.
Yeah, it was.
Oh God, what were we talking about? Oh, Max Domi. He can score a bit. I think he has some grit. Is he also unrestricted after this year?
He is, but I think
why not?
I mean, if we can get him for cheap and re-sign him, and inject some more youth into this team, a gritty guy. I don't know if Pajot's on the fucking block. That's what they keep saying. That he's expendable now with Horvat in here. Horvat is just a better version.
He should be because of his contract. I like JG, but he's breaking down.
Right. And he's still got 3 years left, right? So
3 more years.
Right. So I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what Lou does. I don't think he's going to trade any of the guys. If he can bring in Domi and a defenseman, great. If he can't, that's probably what's going to happen is that nothing's going to happen. And we're going to be sitting here tomorrow and be like, cool. Well, Aho's still here. And
I don't know. I like most years, like that used to be the Garth thing, right? He would pick up some like scrub. I wasn't expecting Enval. That came out of nowhere. So either way, Dobson needs to play with someone who's defensively responsible because Aho's rubbing off on Dobson. Like, did you see that dumbass pass? Like, he just is giving away the puck now. They've all kind of regressed this year defensively. Which, as you know, I tend to blame the coaching for that when everybody looks worse. But either way, God, that blue line needs some help if they're going to have any prayer against like Boston or Carolina or who knows. By the way, New Jersey, man, what a team!
What a team!
What a scary team. I would love to play them first round. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I think at this point we're just trying to get in the playoffs this year and make some noise and see what happens.
We'll have to have Rosen on if that happens, though.
Oh yes, we will. That'll be a show. A chip in a dream, right? So, hey, if we get in, cool. If we don't get in, also whatever. I think it's time to realize it's not great, but it's time to realize that the retool is upon us. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's play the season out like we're trying to get in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we added 2 pieces tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did nothing. I don't think we're going to trade Varlamov and Mayfield, although or Pajot. I think those moves should happen, but
I agree.
But I don't think we will.
And that's fine. I'm kind of resigned to that. There's one guy you just have to figure out going forward what you're going to do with, and that's the goalie. He is incredible.
Yes.
Ilya Sorokin. Like, he's better than we ever could have expected, man. Like,
well,
just keeping this team absolutely afloat. So,
I mean, we're going into his contract year, and he can be a UFA after next year. We have got to lock him up, right? But I mean, does Lou want to pay? I mean, he's going to want $10 million a year, I would assume, right? He's going to want $10 million a year as a goaltender.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's.
I was just going to ask: has Igor gotten a big contract yet? Shesterkin on
No, I think it's Shesterkin. I think Shesterkin has a little bit more RFA term because
I think you're right.
Ilya came in and negotiated. Remember, he came in that first year. He signed with like 10 games to go, and he burned a year of RFA because that was his whole thing. He's like, if I'm going to come over, I'm not waiting 3 years to go UFA or whatever. So he's got a year on Shesterkin.
So Vasilevsky would be the contract comparison then, I guess. Which I mean,
it's going to be, right? It's going to be between 8. I think Bobrovsky leads the NHL with $10 million a year.
That's stupid. Yeah, right.
It is stupid, but
and Carey Price and all that.
So I think it's going to be between 8 and 10. Are we going to get a hometown discount? I don't fucking know. I mean, Lou's good at
Varlamov around, maybe.
Yeah, Lou's good at getting that hometown discount. Hey, if we can re-sign Varlamov for like 2 years, $4 million, fine. fine. But I don't know if Varlamov's going to want to do that. I don't know if he wants to go out there and see what he can get. He's going to be 35 after this year. Still got a couple years left. He could probably be a starter on a couple teams, but I don't think they're going to be playoff teams, So We'll see. We'll see. But we've wasted 15 minutes now talking about the New York Islanders and their.
I just want to say it's been crazy across the NHL this week. Just the amount of trades, man. It's kind of cool to see. It's kind of old school. So it's been a lot of fun. Like no matter what happens, I'm locked in. I'm into this shit.
I have to say, I hate to say it, but I have to say it, and you've been saying it for a long time. Chris Drury, tip of the hat, Trumbull boy, like what you're doing to that team over there. I don't know how you're doing it, but you are building. You did the rebuild the right way, and you're doing what I wish we did a couple years ago.
It helps when a couple of players will only play for your goddamn team. I mean, and then you win the lottery twice. But the Adam Fox thing bothers me the most. I know Patty Kane just did the same thing, but it's a completely different situation. So yeah,
they do it in the NBA all the time too, right? So I mean,
the NHL.
Think about it, man. Like, what if your
I'd want to play in the Garden, I guess.
What if your company could trade you to any other company that was shitty in your industry, and you couldn't, and you had to like move and go somewhere? Like, I don't know, man. I don't hate on player empowerment. I think I just hate when the Rangers are the beneficiaries of it, right? But
right when they're like, oh, they're the only team that that's they like at least make them pay. Like that's when the commission me like comes out, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like. And by the way, Arizona, like half their payroll's fake right now.
Anyway, right. Which is why I don't understand why Josh Bailey hasn't been traded to Arizona yet. But maybe he goes to Chicago in this because they're also going full tank and trying to be terrible. So why not add Josh Bailey? This is gonna help you. So, but let's talk about the New York Mets. Spring training is upon us.
Baseball. I like baseball.
Yeah, baseball's here. New rules. Everyone's freaking out about the pitch count, pitch clock, and balks and bigger bases and all this bullshit. But
I think most people like it so far. What do you think?
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I will tell you, and I'll tell you why I love it. When COVID hit, we all lost sports for like 6 weeks, right? And then
6
the first
months.
sport, but internationally, we lost sports for 6 weeks, and then Italy and Germany brought soccer back within.
Oh, that's right.
I want to say they came back within 2 months.
There was some Korean baseball too. I remember.
Yeah, whatever.
But times were tough, man. Yeah.
Times were tough. So I started watching Serie A and Bundesliga on ESPN, and I love soccer now. I wasn't really into soccer before COVID, and COVID has made me a soccer fan. And the thing I love most about soccer, 100%, is that it starts at whatever time it starts, and it ends within 2 hours and 10 minutes after the fucking time that it starts. No matter what. Maybe there's a little bit of more extra time, 5-10 minute swing, but within 2 hours and 10 minutes, that game's over. Yeah. And I can get on with my fucking day, and I can go do what I want to do, and I can, my wife's not screaming, hey, it's been 4 hours. Can I not watch fucking soccer all day? When baseball didn't have the pitch clock, you're talking 4-hour games sometimes. I don't even want to watch a fucking 4-hour game. I'm like, this is boring. I don't need to watch the first 3 innings. I don't care about this. I'm going to just watch it on replay and fast forward through it. But now that you've truncated the game down to 2.5 hours, still 30 minutes more than I want to spend, or 20 minutes more than I want to spend, but I can justify 20 minutes.
I think that's about right for baseball, though. Like, I think when we were growing up in the 80s, that's what the games were.
It was. So 80s were 2.5, 90s were 2:40, 2000s were like 3, and then the last
it just keeps getting worse.
20 years has been 3.5.
Like all this stuff with the gloves and stepping out. And
well, dude, I love that the guys have to step in and they have to make the pitch within 15, 20, or 30 seconds, depending on what the bases are.
Yeah.
Runners on base. So I loved it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Speaking of the 80s, the bases are bigger, which means the bases are closer. More stolen bases, more action.
Yep.
And
they were talking about it today. Braves think there's going to be 3 40-40 guys on the Braves this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Like Acuna. And who else would it be? Harris.
Harris and Albies, maybe.
Albies.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to hit 40 home runs. So maybe
Vaughn Grissom. What a cool name.
Fuck that guy.
And he's not related to Marquise.
Right.
Disappointing.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Well, fuck all the Braves, but
I know, but he was the one that really beat the. Well, I mean, they also cheated. Let's not forget about how the Braves cheated the system for a long time, and the biggest penalty they got was like they lost their international signing money and I think a draft pick. Like they cheated bad with the international.
But like
international
a bunch of teams have cheated bad.
I guess I don't know, man. I mean, you look at that pipeline, dude. Like,
I'll hate on the Braves.
Yeah, that was a lot of cheating. I think also their general manager like lost his job and got banned from baseball or some shit like that. Like, it was like bad cheating, dude. So, and like, yes, like they had consequences, but like they still got to keep all the fucking players.
Oh, I know.
So and now all those fucking players are signing for 10 cents on the dollar, which I don't get that one. There's got to be
part's
something
annoying. Like, yeah. Like,
dude, there's got to be something going on, in my opinion, behind the scenes. Like, hey, sign this contract, and we'll give you an endorsement with whoever the fuck owns the Braves.
Yeah, like the old college thing, like dark money under the table.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like why would you take a discount to live in suburban Georgia? No offense, suburban Georgia, but
it's bad. Offense. I will say that their stadium area is actually awesome, and
I'm sure it is.
It's better than, I mean, everything's better than where around Citi Field. And like, it has that feel. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in St. Louis, but it's a ballpark area. It's like Wrigleyville, you go, there's nothing but bars and restaurants around it. You can walk around with open container from bar to bar in the little confined street area. Right. And then you can walk into the stadium with a drink. There's like bands and stuff.
Have that too, right?
I've never been to National Stadium. That's on the list of places I got to get to. But Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago all partake in that. Yes. I'm sure there's other cities that do as well. But so it's kind of awesome there. But I wouldn't want to live there.
Oh no. I mean, I could think of worse places. Don't get me wrong, but anyway, like back to the rule changes. It's going to be fun. As you mentioned. Like baseball's kind of a background thing for me. Like I love it because I don't have to be locked in. Because it's a hard time focusing sometimes, especially after a long day. But we'll have to pay more attention. But I've come up with some downsides, and I've seen these online too. I'm not claiming originality. Less time to go get a beer, if you care. How about 90 seconds less of Gary, Keith, and Ron every half inning? Adds up. We're spoiled. We have good announcers, man. No,
we do.
None of this is doing it for you.
Nope.
I still hate the extra inning rule. Don't care.
I don't because
I will compromise on maybe like 10th inning or 11th inning. I'm sorry, 11th inning, but like play at least one more regular inning, please.
I don't because here's why I don't. And this has always been a pet peeve of mine for extra innings. I think extra innings is stupid. In the playoffs, fine. It makes sense to totally play it like you would normally, right? But
which
during the regular
right?
Yeah. But during the regular season, you can burn a bullpen out. Let's say game 1 of a series goes extra innings and you guys, or game 3 of let's say the Mets are playing the Nats and it's the 3rd game of the series and that we got the next 3 games against the Braves, and the Braves are in first place. And the Braves are playing the Pirates, and they just fucking smashed the Pirates. Didn't use their bullpen, and then we have to go to extra innings. We end up playing 18 innings. We burn our entire bullpen out. We got to fucking call up some asshole from AAA to fucking be available the next day, and then we are playing the Braves. And the first guy out of the bullpen is fucking Hingle McCringle, and that guy gets bombed, and we lose that game because of the Nats 18-inning game the fucking night before. Yeah, nope, I hate it.
As I said, I'm down for it a little later. I just think 10th inning, you can handle it. I don't know. Especially, we're carrying 13, 14 pitchers anyway.
Also, Doug, you and I were at the fucking Grand Slam single game.
I'm sure that influenced me.
That was in the 18th inning. That was literally in the 18th inning, bro. We watched 2 full baseball games that day.
Remember what sucked about that day?
Yeah, we got cut off in the 7th inning and we were shit-faced. And by the 18th inning, in the 18th inning, bro, I was so hungover that I just wanted the game to end.
Because my head hurt. Or hungover at the game that I was drinking at.
Yep, exactly. So, no, I love the runner on second. Start the 10th inning. Let's go.
Yeah, I guess it's not baseball though. The Wilpons must have been like so angry they couldn't sell more beer for that. By the way,
I mean,
hi Fred.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else? Before we jump into the Mets, we should do a 2-part preview for the Mets anyway. So I think today we're just catching up. Today I forgot the Trey Turner's on the Phillies. I'm not in baseball mode yet. Are you?
I've been watching the games the last few days. The nice thing for me is that they're on at 10 a.m. here, so I can get my workout in my gym and watch a little spring training baseball. I watched Scherzer's first outing. I don't know if Verlander's pitched yet.
I don't think he has.
Yeah, just watching the guy, Lindor and Beatty and Alonso have started off the spring hot. I will tell you the thing I don't like is the fucking World Baseball Classic.
Agreed.
Stupid. Hey, let's do a fucking tournament in the preseason when the pitchers aren't really ready to throw innings, and let's make it 2 weeks long, and let's every year someone gets Tommy John. I mean, this is what fucked Seth Lugo up 2 years ago. He's never been the same since. Fucking stupid World Baseball Classic.
Man, why can't they do this after the season? I guess there's a good reason, and I know this is all bargain with the players, obviously. So I think the players are into it though.
I think they are, because it's a way to represent their countries. Yeah, and
I feel like you could host in the Caribbean every time though, in November.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said, man. I think it's not adding more work days for them, because if you do it after the season ends, and
their vacation.
They're on vacation right now. You're taking part of spring training, but I mean,
you can't go full force week 2 of spring training.
And they are, and they fucking are.
And they're worried about Edwin Diaz with good reason.
Dude, I'm worried about every single one of our fucking players. Our entire infield is fucking playing in the goddamn World Baseball Classic. I don't care who fucking wins. I could give a fuck. I hope that none of our pitchers pitch, and I hope none of our players get injured, right? Because to your point, Edwin Diaz, dude, do we need him throwing extra innings?
Trying to lock down 3 games in a row to get the championship,
Right. I hope Puerto Rico gets eliminated in the first game by a blowout.
Immediately, yes.
Right. I hope Team USA gets eliminated immediately as well, so that Puerto Rico and USA, fine. Edwin, if Escobar wants to go play for Venezuela, I don't care. We got
and honestly, position players, fine.
Just don't get hurt.
Happens, but the pitchers, man, I don't.
Dude, well, that's why I was so happy to hear Senga's not playing for Japan. Thank God. Yeah, but we got Diaz is pitching. Who else? I think Quintana's pitching for Colombia.
So I don't know. Max and Justin aren't though, right?
No, they're not playing. I mean, which is fine, but I'm sure someone else in the fucking bullpen is pitching. So
Carrasco, maybe.
I hope not. Carrasco is Mr. Glass. He is playing?
Oh, no. I'm just agreeing with you that this is a shitty idea. And
shitty idea. Please stop. Please stop doing this, baseball.
What is this? Every couple of years? Every 3
years? It's every 2 years. And it's to sell fucking jerseys and fucking...
Americans don't give a shit about this. It's all the other countries, so...
That's fucking... Dude, I mean, we already have the Winter Baseball League. Can we just, do this at the end of the year, to your point? So, yeah, man. So, what do you want to do? You want to talk about the fucking offense, or you want to talk about the defense? You want to talk about the pitching or the offense?
You want to talk about Star Wars?
I mean, dude, have you started watching The Mandalorian?
No, I haven't. But is it true that you had to have pretty much watched the Boba Fett show to understand where they're picking up?
In The Mandalorian season 3? Probably, because I'm watching Boba Fett now, and I finished Mandalorian season 2, which Boba Fett was in.
Right.
So
I'm
assuming you'll have to watch it to make sense.
Because everybody hated that one, right? So I
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great, but it's not terrible. I actually was watching it in the gym yesterday, and my wife was on the Peloton, and she doesn't know shit about Star Wars. And I'm not that big of a geek about Star Wars. I'm more of a Marvel guy. But I'm
Right.
watching this Boba Fett, and I'm just kind of like, this was not as well done as The Mandalorian. And she finally looks at me and she goes, "This is so fucking weird. Like, what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?"
You're
And I
like,
just
how can you
laughed.
tell? Like, this is all
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
But
ridiculous. Dude,
no,
it's
but like Andor was
ridiculous.
great. So like I'm back in. I did the first two seasons of Mandalorian. I just like Luke. Spoiler alert, but like Luke shows up at the end, and
Yes, I saw that. Well, you
yeah,
saw Boba Fett then in the
no, I
end of.
didn't.
He was in the Mandalorian season 2.
Oh yeah, like I might have seen that. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was in the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Could have been 20 years ago. The way my brain is these days.
But, yeah. So anyway, I'm watching now Boba Fett, which is actually a couple years old. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like he's basically like a mob boss, and that's kind of like the whole on Tatooine. Yeah, and he took over for fucking Jabba. Yeah. And
so he survives the sand pit. Obviously, I'm probably way behind on. Actual Star Wars fans are getting mad at me for saying that. But
yes, so he actually wakes up. That's how the series starts. He wakes up in the belly of the like sand monster, and then climbs his way out. It like kills it from the inside and climbs his way out.
Fun.
Yes.
I mean, my childhood is forever spoiled.
Yes.
Those 3 movies were just perfect, right?
I mean, they were great at the time, right?
At the time.
You know what I'm actually looking forward to totally shift gears, talk a little bit about sports, but mostly more about movies, is Creed 3.
Oh, yeah. You're into that series? I've heard it's great. I haven't seen it.
You never watched Creed 1 or 2? Douglas, my friend, what the fuck is wrong with you? Way better than...
Not much of a Michael B. Jordan guy, man. I'm sorry. He was great in The Wire.
I will tell you, Creed 1, 2, and 3 are fucking magnificently done. Well, 1 and 2. I've never seen 3
okay.
yet. Yeah, it comes out on Friday.
Like really good. Like
yes.
Like not just throwaway movies that, get you fired up for a night, then you forget.
No, I think they are actually, I don't know. How do you feel about Rocky?
Rocky's great. Speaking of the 80s.
Yeah, which Rockies do you like? Which ones do you not like? Or do you like them all? Do you care?
I think the universal ranking for the first 4, and that's the only ones I'll talk about, is I'm pretty much in line with that. Although I was always a little contrarian about 4. I think people blow up 4 a little too much. But I'm not. It's 1 and 4, and then 2 and 3, however you want to order them. Probably 3 is the worst, right?
I mean, 3 is awesome because it has Mr. T and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
right? So.
But like, are we having a critic conversation, or like what was awesome when I saw it first time? When I saw it the first time in 1985, Rocky 3 was sick. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, right?
Right, and Clubber Lang and Mr. something or other,
Mr. Wonderful or whatever it was.
So,
but again,
I agree with you. 1, 4,
now, so almost
1, 4, 2, 3, right? And then 5 was complete garbage, and then they made this other.
I might put 1 number 1. By the way, we could argue about that.
Well, 1 won the fucking Academy Award that year. I mean, everyone agreed it was a great movie, right? So I think 2 also won it, right? Like 1 and 2, didn't they both win?
I think I'm not sure if 2 won anything, but solid.
Well,
solid
1 definitely won. I know that for a fact. So, you go 1, 2, 1, 4. 2, 3, however you want to rank it. 5
that's
was
probably my ranking.
Yeah, 5 was a steaming pile of dog shit. Then the movie Rocky Balboa was a steaming pile of dog shit. And then there was like this big gap. And then they came out with Creed. Creed is better than 4, in my opinion. Whoa. And then Creed 2 picks up the storyline at the end of 4. So there's a big tie-in. It doesn't pick it up at the end of 4, but there's a big tie-in between Rocky 4 and Creed 2, which is awesome. And now they're coming out with 3, and 3 looks. I mean, it's got Jonathan Majors as the bad guy, and he's like the ultimate bad guy because he's also the bad guy in Marvel now as King the Conqueror. And
sure,
yeah.
I know these things.
So anyway, when you are bored and want to catch up,
hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Especially if you're saying it's better than 4. I'm intrigued now. And I had some kind of comment like, does Carl Weathers reprise his role as a ghost like he was Chubbs in Happy Gilmore? Does he like?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely in.
Yes, he's.
if we get some Carl Weathers or some Chubbs or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's a couple pictures on the wall. That's about it. So, yeah. But anyway, we're way off topic here. So what are we talking? Fuck the World Baseball Classic.
We certainly are. Well, that stuff's more interesting than the World Baseball Classic, man.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah, like what the hell's going on? So they re-signed Keith. Price is inverted.
Yes, thank God, dude. If the fucking Wilpons fucked us by not re-signing Keith, I mean, I would have done nothing about it, but but I would have complained to you on this show really, really hard.
Yes.
Hard.
Yeah. Yes.
And did you see this fucking guy came out and shat all over the Wilpons the other day?
Oh, did he?
Backhandedly.
Good.
Yeah. He was
like Zach Wheeler did. So
yeah, he was basically like, I don't want to say all my time with the Mets was bad. I have some good memories. Yeah.
Oh Jesus, that's some shade.
Yeah.
I heard he said something like he loved his teammates and shit like that. So I just
I think it was all focused on the Wilpons, all the shit.
Yeah, I didn't realize he dragged the owners. That's great. If you're watching this, we don't need to tell you that they deserved it. So.
Yes, they ran the business like a small market team to try and turn a profit every year, which they did. I'm sure they made money every fucking year, and at the expense of the product they put on the field. And
they were always kind of shitty, but they lost me at Bernie Madoff. So it was 12 years of dealing with like that until they sold. That seemed like it was an eternity, right?
Yes.
Like that whole, like they were, obviously it was great that they got to World Series in 2015. They weren't supposed to that year. And that would have been an entire lost decade of Mets baseball.
Yep. Yeah, that was that's why Terry Collins always has a special place in my heart.
I know. And it's ironic because everybody hated Terry until August of 2015. Like we were just done with him by then. So look, we that's what sports is, man. We're just talking shit. Like we wave in the wind on the Islanders every episode here. Like I've called them dead 3 different times this year. Now we're like, hey, fuck it, why not? They're still alive.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Yeah, this isn't serious business, but seriously, the Wilpons did suck.
They still suck, and you know, I'm glad that Jeff has sunk into oblivion and is not to be heard from. I'm glad that Fred still gets to show up at spring training. I think that, you know, I don't think it's. Yeah, he was at spring training the other day. I don't think it's all his fault, and I think Steve knows that. I think he was handcuffed by a lot of things, and I think he was his nepotism led to him making a lot of poor decisions. And you know, everyone's had that point in their career where the fucking boss's son was elevated into a role that they didn't belong in, and it was a turning point for something negative to happen at that place, right?
Yeah, and a dictionary definition of fail son. And I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to dance on his grave when Fred passes away, but I don't miss any of that era. It sucked, especially when, as you said, when you're in New York and, you know, the Yankees are across town and every other team in the division has basically won since we were kids. So
right.
We hung in just like with the Islanders. That's why we're doing this show, man. We're stupid. We're insane, but we love these stupid, terrible teams. I'm repeating myself, but again, I'm drinking a double IPA.
It's true though, man. This is our year question mark, right? So, and like all we ever had for so many years was the off season, because we would dissect these moves and be like, oh my God, we signed fucking Sean Green. We're gonna fucking be over the top. Yeah, Bernard
Which
Gilkey.
one? It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Jordani Valdespin might develop into a prototypical leadoff hitter with some pop.
Yeah, totally. Stealing 30 bases. He just has
to not tell his manager to suck his dick.
Did that happen?
Sorry. Yeah, he told Terry something like that.
I did not know that.
I think he got sent down, and I think probably for the last time, right? And yeah, he had a tantrum in the clubhouse.
Pro tip to anyone out there, and I recently had this happen at my office. I had someone not get a promotion that they thought that they were due, and when they were told that they didn't get the promotion, they decided it would be a great idea to curse out their manager. It didn't go over well. That person no longer works for us. And pro tip, like, if something doesn't go your way, the last thing you probably want to do is curse out your manager. It's not going to end well. So, yeah.
Jeez, man. I'd love to hear more, but yeah, I'm sure you can't.
Yeah, I'll talk about the rest of it off air, but yeah, it was not smart. So what do you think though? We're coming back, right? This is our year. We're excited.
This is our year.
We spent so much money in the offseason. We've pissed off every other owner in baseball because they either don't want to keep up with our spending or they think that they want a salary cap, blah, 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 like all this bullshit. How do you feel?
I don't think we're alone though. Like, have you noticed San Diego's like
the Padres, the Yankees, Dodgers. Yeah, no, there's about 5 to 8 teams that spend, and then there's about
and the rest are like tax
15,
write-offs.
There's 15 teams that like just do enough, and then there's 5 to 8 teams that don't do anything and just want tax write-offs. To your point, so.
Or just keeping the TV money, I should say, actually. But
yeah, well, I mean, look at that. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that we can talk about, like Bally Sport pretty much getting ready to go bankrupt. It's a huge problem because that's 18 of the 30 team. Excuse me. Money is going to go away after this year, and they're going to have to figure out where to put that.
You bring up a really good point, and it's we're 42 minutes in, so I think we're going to do the team preview next week, so there'll be a part 2. But just talking in general, and asking you, since you're out of market, you're out in LA, you probably have. Do you have like the MLB like season pass or whatever?
Yeah.
Do games get blacked out for you?
The Dodgers games get blacked out, and if they play the Angels, those games will get blacked out.
So, would you pay $30 a month for, like, say, access to SNY? I don't know if you saw, but MSG is releasing one, just directly. You could just buy access to the Knicks, Nets, and the hockey teams, right? And it's going to be like $30 a month or like something a year. It's pricey.
I don't know. I mean, so usually when the Mets come to play the Dodgers, they only come once a year, right? So it's three or 4 games. So typically I will go to 1 or 2 of those games. Usually 1 because Dodger Stadium is just such a fucking pain in the ass to get to. And then I'll go to the local bar and watch the game for those other games if I really, really need to see it.
So you would have no interest. Mets are a bad example, but like SNY may eventually do the same thing. That's probably what the teams or the RSNs regional
if I could buy SNY and I could get all the Mets games no matter what.
Yeah.
And then not buy the MLB package, I would probably do that because I don't really watch other baseball on that package.
That was my next question. So
yeah, like maybe I'll watch a game here and there, but typically, like, I don't care. I want to watch the Mets.
That's where this is all going.
Yeah, I mean it's how it should be. It should be fucking a la carte. It's 2023. Like, for every fucking sport, I should be able to say I'm a fucking Jets fan. I want to just watch the Jet game, right? And then I can watch whatever's local game of the week on the NFL. For the Islanders, I just want the Islanders. For the fucking Mets, I just want the Mets. For the fucking
Mets, would you pay $10 for a single Islanders game though? I mean, that's what they're talking about right now.
Oh no, I don't think I pay $10. I pay for ESPN Plus $10 a month. It comes with my package, right? So I can watch whatever I want on the hockey.
And you get all the Isles games on that.
Yeah, unless the only time you don't get an Isles game is if it's on the NHL networks. Exclusively.
Right?
Yeah. Or if it's on TNT or ESPN Game of the Week. But then I get those. But every once in a while, there's like an NHL network, like Saturday Game of the Week or something. I think it's happened twice this year. So there's been about 2 games I didn't get, which whatever.
The Isles are never really on that. So that's the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think I wouldn't pay $10 per game, but I would pay a monthly fee to watch my team directly and not care about the other teams. I think if you did that, it would be, I don't know, it would go back to the teams with a shittier fan base would say, I don't have as much money as like the teams with the bigger fan base. And the answer to that is fucking market better. If you want to get better, more fans, you can get more fans. These teams are regionalized to a point where you have there maybe Baltimore and Washington, you're fighting for the same fan. New York Mets and Yankees are fighting for the same fan. Right. Dodgers are on an island, ain't kind of the Angels. I don't know. They're fucking far enough apart that like they can market to different parts of SoCal, and then the Padres can market to their own part, and then you got San Fran and Oakland are kind of fighting for the same fan, but like market better, spend fucking money. You guys make millions of dollars.
Right.
It's like when baseball owners cry poor to me, it's like shut the fuck up.
Bullshit. It's always bullshit.
Yeah.
Sell the team then.
You want to make more money because you don't want to fucking market? Go fuck yourself. Exactly.
Right.
Sell the fucking team.
And we know firsthand, we went to a World Series game that had Kansas City Royals fans like around us. And when those teams are good, say Pittsburgh goes nuts for the Pirates.
Right. They still have one of the best stadiums.
It's willful, either just being cheap or incompetence. I tend to think it's the former.
Well, they want to make money. They want, I'm sure the Mets are going to break even this year, right? Let's call it break even between them.
I don't care, but okay.
Let's talk business for a second. I'm sure the Mets with a $350 million payroll and tax and all that bullshit between SNY and all their fucking advertising deals and ticket sales and whatever sales at the stadium, they're probably going to come close to breaking even because they spent a fuck ton of money and their payroll is really, really high and the luxury tax that they're going to have to pay. But if they win a fucking World Series, who gives a fuck, right? But if you're Pittsburgh, right, you're operating like, if I keep the payroll at 50 million, we're going to make 100 million. We're going to put 50 million in our pockets. And that's how those motherfuckers think, right?
That's how it's always been.
$50 million is a lot of money. So if you can make $50 million running a baseball team, that's fine. And that's what you want to do. That's fine. But don't fucking cry. Sure. Don't fucking cry because Steve Cohen wants to spend $350 million. Right. And I'm not saying that the Pirates are crying, but there are teams out there crying. There
were teams crying. And look, if you're only looking at this as an investment, you don't give a shit about the on-field product and you're just raking in the TV money, because there's no owner that buys a team and then sells it for less, right?
Right.
Not anymore.
And you're not
even in the NHL, right?
I don't know. Did the Coyotes get sold yet? Is that still what's going on with that? That one is kind of a.
We're going to become like the actual official pod of the Coyotes. We probably mentioned
we already
more
are
than anyone else.
We already are this is our year. Mets, Jets, Nets, Islanders, and Coyotes.
In general, getting invited to the club of a sports ownership means you just get to print money. I will, unless somebody shows me an example otherwise.
And they never open their books. Why would they open their? Why would you not open your books if you were losing money?
I get negotiating with your labor, capital versus labor, age old issue, but you can't come out and just lie to us. Some people might buy it, but
and then you look at the other side of the coin, right? Like the NBA is the like the NFL is probably like owners rule, right? Players fucking don't even have guaranteed contracts. It's tougher. They have a really big roster comparatively speaking to everyone else.
Shorter careers, all that.
Shorter careers, but you go to the NBA, which is the complete opposite, where the players get 51% of everything, and the owners get 49% of everything, and that league is run by the players. And it's not. I personally think the NBA is on the downward trend. I think it's not, and also we're old in comparison to who they're marketing to. Maybe it's not. Maybe the people they're marketing to, the younger generations, love it, and it's actually up and up and up. But
it's more
I don't
about
think
the players
so.
than the teams, though.
The product on the court sucks. Like I could give a fuck
Do you really
about
think
watching.
so?
Yeah, it's not fun to watch NBA basketball.
You don't watch
anymore.
much regular season NBA?
I watched when Kyrie and KD were on Brooklyn, and I'm definitely a jaded fan right now because I keep looking at the standings, and I'm like,
oh, dude, they got waxed by the Knicks too, huh?
Yeah, they've gotten waxed their last 4. I mean, we're running a fucking. I don't even want to talk about it. They stink right now, and it's not anyone's fault except Kyrie and KD because they're a bunch of pussies.
This is not your year for the Nets.
No, it's not going to be our year ever again. I mean, that team hasn't won a championship since before I was born. This is
Dr.
why
J, he got one.
Like in the mid 70s, yeah.
At Nassau Coliseum, I'm guessing then.
Probably. Cool.
The barn, baby.
The barn. Cool.
Sorry. I'm all over the place because
we both are all over the place.
I need another.
Pour it, man. Pour it up.
I forgot to bring it in.
Go run. I'll keep
train a cat to slap one on their back.
I'll keep it going, dude. But I think we spent a shit ton of money. We didn't really bring anyone new in except for a couple of relievers. And I like and Verlander, obviously, right? And Quintana and Senga, right? So we upgraded.
Robertson,
do you think?
Rayleigh.
Let's talk about that. Do you think the rotation is upgraded, downgraded, even? How do you feel?
Very good question. I think that I'm going to go. It's tough because it's Bassett and Walker versus Senga and Quintana. Basically, Verlander's an upgrade over DeGrom. I'm sorry, I'm going to just go with that until I'm proven wrong.
I 100% agree with you.
But Taijuan, I could see still having some really good years, or not. It's kind of annoying. He's on the Phillies too, isn't he? And Chris Bassett versus Quintana. I don't know. It's a tough call. I'll go with slight upgrade. But it's worrying, right? Because this is like one of the oldest rotations, like in baseball history, or something like that. Or it's up against the 2006 Mets, which we all loved, but they all fell apart. Obviously, we know all about that goddamn year. What do you think? Is it better?
Yeah, I think it's better, and mostly because Verlander is an upgrade over DeGrom, but DeGrom hasn't pitched a full season in 3 years. I think that Senga's an unknown, but I think
I'm not sure you pencil him in to be like a 3 yet.
No, but I mean, who knows? But I think Walker was a good 4. I think they're paying him to be a 3, and I think that he hit his upside with us. I think he hit his peak with us. And I could be wrong. He could prove us wrong. He's got a 4-year deal, but he went to Phillies. So I don't know. I think he's going to be the, 10-10 with a 3.82 ERA for the next 4 years. And there's something to say about the innings, but he also had a cliff every year. Every year he fell off the cliff.
He did.
And
he was a little better last year, but sure.
A little better last year. Bassett, I didn't love that I think he was turning 35 this year. So it's not like,
so he's up there.
It's not like he was, between him and Quintana, like we got any younger, or I think they're about the same age. Quintana's just like a junk ball lefty, and Bassett is a kind of a junk ball righty, to be honest. And he threw a little bit harder with the sinker ball, but I think our rotation needed a lefty that could roll out every 5 days. And I think when you throw Verlander and Max, and then you come back with, I think Quintana is going to probably be the third starter, if I had to guess, to start the year, because they're going to want to play him off of those two guys and have fire, and then junk ball lefty.
I mean, if you talk about the first week, it might be one of Max or Justin in the first game, and then Quintana like in the second. They might want to space that out. Anyway, in terms of like ability to flame out, though, I trust Bassett more than say Senga and Quintana. I think there's more risk with those two. I've been underrating Quintana a bit, I think, because I saw his career go down for a few years, right? And like you normally expect, that's the natural progression, but he's bounced back the last couple of years, to his credit.
Yeah, he only had one. If you really look at his numbers, he only had like one really bad year, and then he's had a lot of league average years, and he's had a couple of really, really good years, and he had a great year last year. And I think one thing that, everyone used to love Rick Peterson and think that he was such a pitcher whisperer. And
I don't love that era.
Yeah, he wasn't as good as he was advertised. But I will tell you, from my perspective, Jeremy Hefner is a pitcher whisperer. And what he teaches these guys to do and how our guys pitch now, I think Quintana being league average on the up, and Kodai Senga, and even what he's done with Carlos Carrasco at the end, the tail end of his career. I think
a guy who's looking bad for a year or two.
Yeah, I think we're fine. And then we still got Peterson, McGill, and Casey.
There's actually depth this year. So and they're talking 6-man rotation anyway, right?
Oh, I think we'll see it throughout the year over the course of time.
Little load management.
Mm-hmm. But I do think our rotation is, like you said, slightly better. I'd say slightly better because now
it's not a huge jump, but stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
It's again a gauntlet of a division, right? Braves, Phillies. Here we go again.
But, well, awesome.
The heartbreak.
Well, Dougie, it's been a great hour with you on the air.
Yeah, man. It always flies by. And I did not come prepared with a Vaya con Dios.
No.
Do you have one? Let's think
Vaya con Dios. I can say Vaya con Dios to the New York Islanders 2024 third round draft pick.
Oh, we hardly knew you. is there any shit? There's no one really. Vaya con Dios, Kenny Galladay. I think he got officially.
He did. He got cut. There you go. You're saving $6 million. Yes.
We haven't done NFL in a while, but we will obviously.
We will. God damn it! I hope I'm right about Aaron Rodgers.
That what?
He's coming to the Jets. The trade's already done.
Do you think he? You think he is okay with pooping in the dark, or did he cheat?
Oh, he definitely used the rest. Well, I don't know. I've never done ayahuasca. I've certainly never done 4 days of ayahuasca.
Have
so
you
I'm
not?
sure.
I figure since you're in LA, I mean,
no, but dude, you no. I don't think I could handle fucking ayahuasca, but
yeah. Poor Alex, if she would have to babysit you.
Oh God, no, thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there was a shaman that was wiping his ass or whatever the hell's happening.
Anyway, all this sounds great for the Jets starting quarterback next year, right?
Hey man, he could fucking come in and walk around a cane and do better than we've had in the. Derek Carr's numbers last year. Right. Derek Carr's numbers last year, like 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, would have been the second best Jets quarterback in the history of Jets quarterbacks. Dude, that's how bad. It's like historically bad.
I mean, like stats are a little inflated these days, but yeah, that's pretty bad.
Whatever,
it's pretty
man.
Bad.
Yeah, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is like our number 2 all time. Like
that one insane year he had. Oh
yeah,
that was good.
Fitzmagic, baby, Fitzmagic. All right, Dougie. Well, it's been great. I look forward to catching up with you next week. It'll be a good pre-birthday celebration. Yes. Yeah. So we'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll meet the Mets a little more too. So
yeah, we'll get in depth on the Mets next week. All right, guys. Till next time.
Bye bye.
All right. What do we want to call this episode?
Oh, I had one. I thought we were gonna actually go through the team, but if you want to do Meet the Mets Part 1, and then next week would be Part 2, and meet with like DA, right?
Mm-hmm. You got it done.
You can always
awesome, man.
Yeah,
we can always change it, but I like it. Good times, brother.
Same here.
I'll see you next week.